We are live. Hello everyone, welcome to our sixth episode of LifeTalks by Spiritual Guides. I'm your host Shreya Vyas and I'm a counselor and hypnotherapist and working with iCharts as a psychology intern. Today we have with us Mr. Sreejith Casey and he is going to share his experience with the philosophy of art of living and his views on mental health. Before we begin, I would like everyone watching us to feel free to ask any question in the comment section and we would surely answer them. You may also start a watch party on Facebook so that your friends may also take benefit from this. Two lines for the organization that VIHRS focuses on helping psychologists, coaches, trainers to develop advanced coaching and therapeutic skills. Also spread awareness about mental health through various talk, workshop, seminars. I would also like to share the purpose of this webinar. So in the world we are living today, spiritual groups are a major source of support system. चाहे फिर वो सेल्फ रियलाइजेशन की बात हो या तो फिर हम कभी पर्सनल लेवल पे कोई इमोशनल इशू फेस करते हैं. But having said that, they are not a replacement of visiting a mental health practitioner. So today we have invited a group of spiritual practitioners so that we can provide the people with a better understanding of the philosophy of the different spiritual groups carry. And this will also help the people to understand the views of the guru and leaders of the spiritual path on mental health. So I'm really glad that you are here. And let me give you a, yeah. Yes, sir, you were saying something.
I was saying thank you for inviting me here, Shreya, and very good morning to all of you who has joined live. Looking forward to have a fruitful session with all of you, and please feel free to ask questions at the end. Yeah.
Yes, sure. So let me give you a brief introduction about Sir, and it gives me immense pleasure to introduce Sir. Srijith Sir has a 15 years of corporate experience. He currently works for Dell as a senior manager, product strategy, and has been associated with Air India and Infosys in the past. He also holds a full-time MBA from Indian Institute of Management in Marketing and BE, and is also a corporate faculty with the Art of Living Foundation for more than a decade. And he has also facilitated the training program for various leaders across the industries on leadership. He is also passionate about Ayurveda and holistic wellness, and he is co-founder of an Ayurveda wellness center based in Bangalore. So once again, welcome to our sixth episode of Life Talks by Spiritual Guide.
Thank you, Shreya.
Yes. So let's start with our question. So, sir, my first question to you is, we would love to know more about your spiritual journey. Like, what specific things inspire you to choose this specific spiritual path? So, could you just throw some light on how do you get introduced in your journey?
Sure. So I got introduced to the spirituality quite early in my life. So I was 22 years. And I was not very so keen about spirituality as such. In fact, I didn't know much about spirituality. So how I got introduced is one of my close friends who had done an Art of Living program. And then he told me that, okay, Srijith, I've done this, right? I really liked it. Why don't you do it, right? And it's like a close friend of yours telling you that, I watched a movie, why don't you also watch? You don't even apply your brain there, right? हम दिमाग लगाते नहीं है कि नहीं? So when you somebody close to you tell you, just go there and just do it, right? So I just went ahead and participated in this. It was a 6-day program, right? I think every day it was around 2.5 hours. And yeah, I really liked it. And, then I thought, oh, yes, there is something in all these techniques, because earlier I was not introduced to all this. And, I had no reason to believe whether it works or it doesn't work, right?
Yes.
So it was a very, what do you call it, natural and, progression. I just did it. I liked it. But, during that time, that age, you're not very serious about life anyways. right? So I did it. I took my own time to really come back to understand deep what this is all about, right? So to answer your question short, just curiosity, and a friend told me just do it, a close friend, so you didn't want to disappoint him, right? So it was by chance, and why did I choose this path? I don't know. I mean, maybe the path chose me.
Great,
Yeah. Yes.
great, sir. So, after listening to this, I'm very curious to know, like, what is the essence of the philosophy you follow? So, it would be great if you can share some of the primary principle of this philosophy.
Sure. So, I belong to I'm a volunteer, right? I'm an honorary faculty with the Art of Living Foundation, right? So, and as you all know, I mean, it doesn't need any introduction. The founder, right, is Gurudev Sri
Yes,
Ravi Shankarji, right? Everybody
yes,
knows him. So, what is the essence of the philosophy? Is the vision of our organization is to build a stress-free, violence-free society, right? It sounds quite big, right? Given what we are going through, it looks very difficult to achieve, right?
yes,
But that's the greatness of the founder, right? He has set such a big goal, right? And then the mission, how to achieve that, is by spreading a smile on every face on this planet Earth, right? Now, if you see that, society cannot be transformed without transforming the individuals, isn't it?
yes,
So the focus for us in Art of Living is transforming individuals. How can we empower the individuals? And thereby, by transforming individuals, how can we build a beautiful society where there is no stress, there is no violence? Yeah. So that's our, underlying principle. Now, how do we achieve that? So to empower the individuals, we have programs, right? So there is an entry level program. You all would have heard about Sudarshan Kriya. So that's a technique that's being practiced in our entry level program, right? So we have then the advanced level programs through which, an individual comes out of stress, right? So everybody has nowadays, stress is almost like God, right? It's omnipresent, right? So so through these techniques, when an individual comes out of stress, then the next step he thinks is, oh, now I am out of stress, what can I do for others, what can I do for my society, what can I do for the people around? Yeah. So once that thought comes, when somebody is happy, the happy person, uh, you know cannot sit at his own place and, oh, I am happy now, let me just relax all my life. It doesn't happen that way. It is like you watch a good movie, you want to, till you call up all your friends, you can't sleep, isn't it? Similarly, when you come out of stress, through these techniques that I mentioned about, then if you speak to people, you want to spread it, you become a volunteer, right? We also have a lot of service projects all across the world, right? We operate in almost 160 countries. So everywhere across the globe, we have some project where everybody can get involved in. So all these individuals who undergo our program finally get, involved in one of the Seva projects. We call it Seva. Seva is service. And once, they start serving the society, that itself becomes an addiction, right? It's a good addiction to have. So then, and some of them, also progress to become, they want to become a facilitator for the programs, right? So they do the become a teacher, a facilitator like me, and start conducting these programs. So that's the progression in which things happen here, right? So yeah, so as I said, the underlying principle to all these things is, to build a stress-free, violence-free society. So for that, we say that, we'll all move together towards that journey, which looks to be impossible but possible, right?
yes, sir. Yes.
Yes.
Um, so, sir, would you like to elaborate certain techniques, like along with Sudarshan Kriya, are certain other techniques which can help us to achieve this goal, or which can help us to do meditation so that we can just reduce our stress?
Yes. So in our programs, what do we teach? Right? See, nowadays I have sedentary lifestyles, right? We sit in our on chair, and 9 to 6 people work. In fact, 9 to 6 is short. I mean, in IT people work even more. So
Yes.
we in our programs there is yoga, so that you have some flexibility for the body, right? So second, we also teach certain techniques to improve your energy levels. So we teach some specific pranayams for that, how to improve your energy levels. Third thing that we teach is we also teach meditation. Yeah, so to calm down the mind. So you have a flexible body, you have high energy levels, you have a calm mind. But to meditate is not so easy. Yeah, you close your eyes, you'll have more thoughts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
So to achieve that, you know, uh, Sri Ravi Shankar ji, Gurudev, he has come up with a beautiful breathing technique. It's called Sudarshan Kriya. Hmm? So what it does, through a rhythmic breath, it takes you to samadhi. It takes you to a state of thoughtlessness, a state of complete rest. Right? So Sudarshan Kriya is a very, very powerful tool. So that's why, otherwise, if you see in the past, not many people get into meditation because it is frustrating sometimes, right? You close your
People
eyes.
find it very difficult, and also the people
Ah,
find it very difficult to do.
correct. The reason is mind is a rebellious teenager. It doesn't listen to you, isn't it? If I tell you, do not
Mm.
think about a monkey, what did you think? You
100%.
already thought about a monkey, isn't it?
Yes.
So, so when you cannot handle your mind with the mind, we use breath to indirectly control your mind, because every emotion has a specific breath pattern. If you see, um, when you're angry, how do you breathe? You breathe faster, isn't it?
Yes.
And when you're
Yes.
happy, you breathe deep. And when you're
Yes.
sad, when is this lockdown going to get over? Hmm, isn't it? And it is a
Yes.
global, it's a global truth, right? It's not just for Indians, it's for everywhere.
Yes.
It's a universal law that when you are sad, this is the way you breathe. When you're happy, this is the way you breathe. Now, in art of living, we say, if your mind can affect breath, then the converse is also true. How? By using the breath, you can also control your mind.
Very beautiful. Very beautiful and interesting.
Yeah, so
Yes.
so this is how we our programs are structured, and this is the philosophy under which our programs run.
वेरी नाइस। और सर आपने एक बीच में एक लाइन बोला कि हर एक ब्रीदिंग पैटर्न के साथ एक इमोशन जुड़ा हुआ होता है। तो
हाँ
मुझे
जी।
वो लाइन बहुत ही अच्छी लगी कि हमारे इमोशन मतलब हर एक इमोशन, इट्स नॉट अबाउट एंगर, राइट? सो एवरी इमोशन हैज अ डिफरेंट ब्रीदिंग पैटर्न। am I right?
You're right. Every emotion has a specific breath patterns. If you observe closely, right? When you were small, if you see a small child sleeping, right? It breathes so deep,
Hmm.
isn't it? The
Yes.
child breathes, its tummy goes up and down, if you see,
Yes. It was so
right?
visible.
Now, when you are stressed, you keep your hand on your tummy and see how you're feeling. When you breathe in, sometimes it goes inside, right? So natural breathing rhythm means when you breathe in, your tummy comes out, like how when you're a baby, how we used to breathe. So as we grew up, somewhere because of our lifestyle and because of the stress around, we have lost that natural rhythm. Yeah.
Yes.
So coming back to that rhythm, and also if you look at it, we really don't breathe deep. There was this
Yes.
beautiful, one research done by one of our very famous medical institutes in India, right? It said that, 90% of the toxins can be removed through breath, 90. It also says that a normal human being uses only 30% of the lung capacity. So when the breath has the potential to remove 90% of the toxins in our system, and we are only using 30%, so much toxins remain inside our system. So by
Yes.
knowing how to breathe properly, we can remove these toxins from the system, thereby live a life of well-being. And if you see, our body is a chemical factory, if I may call so, right? You'd have heard in or you can Google it out. When you're stressed out, our body, in the body there is a hormones called cortisols gets released into the bloodstream, right? So you get angry, you know the cortisols get released. You're stressed out, the cortisols get released. So all this hormone production is happening all the while. You shout at somebody, the cortisols doesn't get transferred, it remains in your own system,
Yes.
isn't it? So after some time this accumulates, and this becomes disease in future. So by knowing how to breathe properly, you can avoid any of this psychosomatic diseases that
Yes.
could
I was just
happen.
going to say, yeah,
Yes.
correct. Correct. Perfect, sir. And I think that opens a very interesting idea that along with meditation, we should also give importance to our body. We can do something like asana or pranayam, so that can create a foundation or that can create a basic for a meditation practice, isn't it?
You are right. You are right. See, it's like this. See, if you are having a back pain,
Yeah.
yeah, and you sit to meditate, you close your eyes. Where is your attention? Is on the back, isn't it?
Yeah.
Huh? So the first
Yes.
level is you have to set your body in a stable state, in a relaxed state. Yeah, otherwise there is too much restlessness in the body. Then also you cannot
Yes.
meditate, right? And when you're so tired, also it's very difficult to go to meditation because you will feel like sleeping. You want to go lie down. So that time, it's important that we enhance our prana levels. Prana means the life force energy. So pranayama helps us uplift our energy levels, right? So when your body is free of restlessness, and then your um, energy is stabilized, then you're ready to meditate. Then when you close your eyes, yes, you can relax.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Perfect, sir. So to build up this question, sir, would you like to share any of your personal experience, like your benefits at the physical, mental, well, all area of the life, at the emotional level, to your relationship, any of your personal experience?
Yes, so many things to share, but um, you know, at a bodily level, right? At a physical level, you will feel more flexible when you do yoga, when you practice pranayams, you feel more energetic. You know, even if you sleep less, even then you will be fresh. Right? Yesterday I've slept only 4 hours, right? Still you will
Oh,
feel fresh. Yeah, you
yes,
don't feel tired because you have, uh, you know, our body gets energy from four sources. If you really look at it, food, sleep,
yes,
and when your mind is happy, and then breath, right? There are
yes,
four
perfect.
sources, direct sources of energy. And if you look at it, uh, you know, food, you know, if you don't eat food for 2 3 days, you don't die. 2 to 3 days you can be alive. Sleep also 2 to 3 days, you'll be alive in a sane state, right? Happy mind, even if you're not happy, you don't die. You can exist,
Yeah,
isn't it? But if you don't breathe for a minute, you're over,
yes,
right? So breath is very important, the most important sources of energy. So when you focus on breath, when you give attention to breath, do pranayams, you become more energetic, right? So you can become more flexible in your body, you feel more energetic, yeah? Then your immunity increases, yeah? So you don't catch cold easily, you don't catch cold fever easily, and it's nowadays
yes,
it's very important, isn't it? Given what is going around us, immunity
yes,
plays a big role, yeah? So
yes,
so when you practice meditation, also your immunity improves, because your mind can also affect your body. If your body, there's a pain, it affects the mind, right?
Yes.
Similarly, if your mind is relaxed, then your body also relaxes. When the body relaxes, then your immunity can also increase. Nowadays there are researches available everywhere. So at a mind level, you become more calm. Yeah, less
Yes.
thoughts in the mind. Otherwise, what happens? You're thinking about something. I want to do this. You take a sankalpa. आपने कुछ संकल्प ले लिए है, मुझे ये करना है. अभी तुरंत 2 मिनट के बाद क्या होता है? ये होगा क्या? Will it happen really?
Self-doubt.
Yeah. Are you seeing that? तो फिर हुआ क्या? आपने एक संकल्प ले लिया और दूसरे डायरेक्शन से you have taken another sankalpa. Will this happen? It will not happen, right? So
Yes.
when the mind is calm, there's a thought in your mind. That thought is very powerful. Why? It doesn't have an opposite vector. It's just one single point focused, right? So it helps you achieve your goals easily. It
Yes.
with a
Very
calm
true.
mind. Yeah. And then at an emotional level, you feel more balanced. You don't let the emotions rule you. You have a control over your emotions. That's why it's called emotion. No, it's all the time in motion. Yeah. So when
Yes.
so when you practice all this, you get the ability to keep the mind calm. You keep the emotions in hold. Yeah. So
Yes.
yeah. So those are some of the benefits. And
Yes.
in relationship, oh yes, I forgot to address that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody wants to work with a happy person, isn't it? There's nobody who wants to work with somebody who is all the time grumpy, frustrated, disappointed, isn't it? So
Yeah.
whether it is your manager or your subordinates, everybody wants to work with somebody happy. So of course your relationship at your work improve, right? And at
Yes.
home, nobody wants to get married to somebody who's unhappy, isn't it? So
Yeah.
of course, your personal relationship improve. Your friends also. You want to be in a company with friends who are happy, so your friend circle improves, isn't it? So
Yes.
yeah, of course, your relationship improve. Your relationship once the relationship with yourself improve for you, then
Yes.
the relationship with others automatically improve. It's a byproduct.
Yes, that's amazing. And what you said is so relating, sir. And even I like the point that you mentioned that mind and body both are interconnected. So, like mind gives effect to the body and the vice versa. So we have to give importance. मतलब हमें दोनों को importance देना जरूरी है because दोनों एक दोनों के साथ connected है. It's not like कि मुझे सिर्फ mind पे focus करना है तो completely I have to do meditation और body को भूल जाए और कभी body पे focus कर रहा है कि mind को भूल जाए. So I think it's very important. And also the way you put it, it's really amazing.
Yes, because and mind is more powerful than the body.
Yeah.
We normally think the other way. See, when you have a thought to get up, it's a thought, right, in your mind, and it lifts up a 60, 70, 80-year-old body, 80 kg, body. So see how power mind has. So it picks up a body which is very heavy, right? So
Yes.
mind is very powerful. And there is a saying also, no, if you heard it, man meeta to jag meeta. Yeah,
Yes.
when your mind is sweet,
Yes.
you see everything around you sweet. But when you
Yes.
are unhappy, even if there is a full moon day, you're looking at a bright moon, you will be unhappy, isn't it?
Perfect. Yes. So it's very important to improve the relationship within self. खुद के साथ relation बनाना बहुत ज़रूरी है so that we can improve our relationship with others.
Yes.
Yes, sir. And in between, you also mentioned about some research. So would you like to share some of the research which is done by Art of Living?
Yes. So, there are a lot of researches available online. So we have a website called AOL for Art of Living, research.org. So if you go to that website, there's a lot of white papers available, medical papers. So there's a research done on depression. the effect of Sudarshan Kriya on depression. So there's a test and control group which they had set up. I think this was done in US, right? So you can read. There's a the document is called Science of Breath. Yeah. So if you read through that PDF, it's a research paper. You would see that almost 90% people in that test, group came out, of depression after practicing Sudarshan Kriya for a certain period of time. So Sudarshan Kriya has a big impact on depression patients. I personally can vouch for it. I don't know much about the medical research because there's a lot of technical language there. But
Yeah.
I've trained around 4-5,000 people in the past, and I would say hundreds of them have come out of it. They're leading a very normal life without Prozac, right? So uh, you know, so always it's better to do something, avoiding all putting all chemicals in the system. Yeah. So there's a lot of researchers. I mean, hundreds of researchers on meditations also available nowadays. So I would suggest you can go to this aolresearch.org and read through that.
Perfect, sir. Perfect.
Yes.
Okay. So, my next question is related to youngster. So, like, if I'm talking about youngster, we are very energetic, passionate, and we are also occupied in our lives. So, whatever the benefits you discussed, would that be same, or is it like that we have to put extra efforts, or we have to change our lifestyle to follow the spirituality?
Yeah.
I hope you
So
get my question.
yes, I got your question. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, a sign of a youth is one who is ready to take on challenges, right? A youth is always ready to take on challenges. And the second sign of a youth, undying enthusiasm, right? All the time passionate about what we are doing. If you look around, most of the youth is like that, right? But
Yes.
the energy needs to be channelized. सी एवरी अगर आप देखेंगे हमारा युवक जो है वो जोश में तो होता है लेकिन कभी होश का कमी हो जाता है. हाँ? तो जब होश और जोश एक साथ आ जाते हैं then we can achieve success in what we are doing. Just having hosh is not enough. Hosh is okay, you're aware of everything but you are not ready to do something. I want to do so many things for the society but I don't have energy. I just want to relax. ये नहीं चलेगा, है कि नहीं? अभी बस जोश होने से भी बस जोश है, that also is not enough. You might do something wrong, right? When hosh and josh comes together, then that's a very beautiful combination. Then you can be of use to the society. Yeah, that's one. So two things. First thing is ready to take up challenges. Second thing is an
Yes.
undying enthusiasm. Third thing is, if you really look at the youth around, there is, people are very insecure nowadays, right? It could be because of peer pressure. It could be because, probably parents also haven't spent enough time with them during these formative years, right? So there is a lot of insecurities. It's whether I'll get a job, will I get into the right institute? So this is where spirituality would help. This is where all these techniques and a faith in some higher power. Nowadays, you don't want to even believe that there is a higher power. But when you are in a flux, right? Where do you have to? You need an anchor, right? A ship in an ocean which is full of waves needs an anchor to be stable. Similarly, when we are in the youth, there's a lot of things changing. There's a lot of decisions to be taken. Which college to join, which is the right job, right? So all these things keep happening, right? So um, for the youth, it's very important that holding on to something which is which is stable, and that is spirituality. So all the techniques that I just mentioned earlier, it gives that um, stability to their demeanor, and it also gives you that inner strength. It also gives you that inner strength to move ahead in life. Yeah. So having a guru also helps, right? So if you look at football, it's a very simple game, isn't it? Just what's the rule of the game? You have to take the ball and put it into your opponent's goal post. That's all you have to do. Even for that, there is a guru. Somebody who is somebody who is best in their field is called a guru. We have a marketing guru, that guru, this guru. So for things which are so mundane, which are so simple, which it looks like also has a guru, then
Yeah.
why not for something as complex as our own mind? We have no clue how does our mind works. We certainly need a guru there, right? So if so it's important that youth follow certain spiritual techniques, a spiritual path. It helps them build that hosh along with the josh, and thereby achieve their goals. And most important thing nowadays, if you really see, lot of suicides happen, right? It's
Yeah.
unfortunate. If you really see, every other day you look at the newspaper, you look at the social media, you look at Bollywood, right? Many youngsters are suiciding, right? It's unfortunate. So what it really helps is improving the energy levels. If their energy level is high, yeah, they won't get into this trap of
Yeah.
going to depression, right? So it's very, very important for a youth to be part of a spiritual environment around him. Yes.
Yes, very true. Would you like to give any other message to our generation, like along with this, like how our youth can generate and implement those teaching in their practical life? To summarize whole thing, whatever you said
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. So one thing that I have learned in my life is uh, we all do something for ourselves, right? We all do. Why do you work hard? So that you earn money, right? Why do you study well? So that you can get into a good engineering college, medical college, MBA. Fine, it's important that you have a goal for yourself, right? But it is also important to have a goal for the society where you live in, right? Because you look at the situation right now, there are many successful people, but are they able to come out of their house? Do you see that? So you cannot be really successful individually. If you take responsibility for the society, that also empowers you as a human being. So when a youth, while he or she works for the individual personal goal, it's also important to share a goal for the society. And when you do that, there is a certain confidence that come to you which you don't get from any other training. Yeah. So
Yes,
that's the real management. So I say
yes,
that
very
uh,
true.
yeah,
And it
when you
is
get
also a
involved.
permanent motivation. It's like a long term motivation. It's not like just a temporary effect.
Yes. So I say that, you know, yeah, so certainly motivation, right? But it becomes an addiction, right? It becomes an inspiration, and an inspiration stays for lifetime. So
Yes.
that's my experience. So once I started involving in the service projects, I started conducting these programs, and I saw that so many youth are coming out of so many diseases, so many psychosomatic diseases like depression. Hundreds of people have come out of suicides, right? And my direct experience in my programs. So now if I don't conduct a program a week, I feel something is missing in my life, right? So that
Yeah.
becomes an addiction in you. And you would have seen an advertisement, something that money can't buy. right? One of the advertisement we say that. So this is something that money can't buy. So get involved in some social cause, right? And along with that, do the some techniques to calm down your mind. That will, that will really make a good personality of yours. Yes, that's
Yes,
my message.
very true. Very true, sir. And as we are talking about depression and mental health, I would also like to know your views on mental health
Yes. So
and mental health issues, and also mental health issues like
yes,
depression, schizophrenia.
yes. So mental health, if you really see, have you ever studied in our school how not to get angry? Have you ever studied in our school how not to get sad? But in our school, of course, teacher used to tell us, do not get angry. Teacher used to tell us, our parents used to tell me, "Oh, don't get greedy, don't be jealous." But nowhere they taught us how not to get angry. They never taught us how not to be sad because they themselves did not know, isn't it? So if you see our education system, and I passed out from Indian Institute of Management, everything is taught there, all management, but is there any subject on self management? It's not there,
Very true.
right? So our education system does not really cover these life skills, right? That's where these things are handy, right? So hence we need to go through these spiritual programs, techniques that I just talked about. So once you learn certain techniques, then you will know how to manage the mind. It's not a big thing. It looks very difficult initially, but when you start practicing it, it happens very, very naturally, right? So why do you feel bad? Why do you feel sad? Simple. It's because your energy levels are low. You just do a breathing technique. 2 minutes, you can jump back. 2 minutes is what you need to just change your mood, right?
Yes.
So yeah, so if on your question on why mental health is quite right now not addressed, is because our education system is not yet introduced to that. Nowadays, if you see, our programs are offered in Yale University, we have in Stanford, our programs are offered, right, as a credit subject also in some universities. And there was a recent research by Yale University, which just came a week back, where they tested our techniques on people with depression. So yes, so I say like this, in fact, Gurudev says like this, he says, every day you brush your teeth, that is dental hygiene. Every
Yeah.
day you do meditation, that is mental hygiene. Uh, and if you think your dental hygiene is more important than mental hygiene, then there is something wrong. Yeah. So along with you cleaning your teeth, it's very important to clean your mind.
Yes, very true, sir. So, along with this, I would also love to know, sir, like, what do you suggest to people having mental health issue? Like, what are your views on visiting a therapist when it comes to mental health?
Yes. So as I talked about earlier, right? You to learn a football, you need a guru. You need a football coach. Similarly, in any field that you get in, it's important that when you are not able to solve things by yourself, it's good to meet somebody who can help you, guide you through that process, because that person would have seen similar cases in the past, right? So a therapist can certainly help guide that person. But along with that, as a self help, it's very important to learn meditation, right? So
Yes,
all the
yes,
therapies, you go to a therapist, certainly you would see a difference. But along with that, sometimes you're traveling, you're in a place where there are no therapists. What will you do? That's where all your self help techniques come. So when you can do something for your own, you'd see that, yeah, you can, it's a more long term solution for that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I think the both spiritual organization and both the mental health practitioner can work together to bring a sustainable transformation. So like both can give each other support system in a way that we can bring a huge transformation in our society and which is also
Absolutely.
sustainable.
Absolutely. So if you look around nowadays, after the COVID, the number of depression cases have increased. You can ask psychiatrists around, right? That's what my information is. And in our
Yes,
programs,
true.
we see that, right? People are locked down inside home. They don't know what to do. These are people who used to jog every day. These are people. So when people have not learned how to be alone with themselves, when they come into peculiar situations like this, it is difficult to manage the mind. Yeah. So yes, I agree with you. This is the time when all the therapists and spiritual practitioners and facilitators can help the society to become more healthy in terms of mental health. Yes.
Yes. Yes. So let me check if our audience have any question.
Sure.
Mm, just a minute. Okay. Okay, so there is one question from Sanjana. How important is it teaching art of living to small kids?
Very important, right? See,
Yes.
we always say no, catching them young. Yeah. So if you catch them young, children is gets easily influenced by the right things and the wrong things, right? um, so if a child gets into this, so nowadays in art of living we have programs right from the age of 5 years. We have programs to the similar programs, pranayam, meditation, sudarshan kriya for children, specifically designed for children. I have I have son, my son, and he practices it every day. So when children, you know, learn something young and they practices something young, then it stays for their life. Simple thing, right? A mother forces a child to brush the teeth, right? A child doesn't want to brush the teeth. It is not a pleasurable activity for the child, but mother with pressure, no, you have to do it, right? So then nowadays we find it as a normal thing. Why? It is all because the effort of your mother in your young days. Why you are now disciplined in your brushing your teeth. Yeah. Similarly, for making a child do anything, it needs some skill, right? So initially, when you tell yoga, they might not, right? Because children are already yogis. Children live in the present moment. They are happy, isn't it? Look at a child's face, all the time will be smiling, right? It said that a child smiles 400 times a day. A teenager smiles 17 times a day. You know how many times an adult smile? He smiles when there's a joke. Yeah. So anyway, it was a joke. So uh, you know, so um, it's very important. Yeah. So if you catch a child young, that stays for his life, and that's the best gift you can give as a parent to a child. Yeah, because everything else will be taught in his school: physics, chemistry, biology. As he grow up, sales, marketing, everything. But something that so far in our education which is not provided is how to handle the mind. If you provide that to a child, it's taken care of. His life is there. His or her life is taken care of. Yes.
Yes. So let me check if there are another question. Hi Supriya. Hi Mansi. Thank you for joining us. Mm, Yeah, there is a question from Mansi that how we can balance our work life and spiritual life.
Okay. Yeah. So how do you balance your work life?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more pertinent now because now there is many people are working from home, right? So your work and your personal life is in the same building, right? So how do you
Yes.
manage your work? See, before that, it's important to understand why are you not able to balance, right? One is, you have too many things to do. First thing is you have too many things to do. Second thing is you have too less time. Third is you have less energy. So what's the
Yes.
definition of stress? Too many things to do, too less time, and too less energy. So when and now can you go to your office and say that no, today I will only do this much work? If you tell this during this lockdown, you lose your job. So you cannot go
Yes.
tell your manager, no, I'm going to only do this much. So that's not a choice, right? Second thing is what? Um, Time. Everybody has 24 hours only. Unfortunately, we cannot stretch time. Then the third thing, energy. Can you manage it? Yes. So when you manage your energy levels, if your energy levels are high, you can achieve more. You can do more work in less time, right? So thereby you're able to finish your work. Uh, you're more productive at your work, so you can finish your work early. So if you finish your work early, you can spend that extra time with your children. You can spend that time with your family. You can spend that time doing some hobby that you like, right? So work-life balance is all about managing your energy levels in one level. Second is, you know, by not really seeing difference in work and life, right? Many a times we do work as, oh, I have to do this, right? But when you're given a chocolate, you eat very nicely, right? You enjoy it. So when you're able to enjoy the work like a chocolate, then it doesn't become work, right? But it's important to spend time with the family, right? But when you're doing something 100%, you enjoy it, right? So
Yes.
that's the trick.
Yes. Very true. And I think balance is very important because sometimes what happens कि हम अगर spirituality में आ जाता है तो we give complete time to that spiritual activity और उसमें हम शायद घर में थोड़ा सा कम time दे देते हैं. So I think balance is very important. And yeah, and also one thing I would like to add from my experience that sometimes people have a very rigid expectation towards a divine experience, like whenever they follow any spiritual path, sometimes what happens that वो पेशेंस लेवल चला जाता है, लाइक इतने मंथ में इतना अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस होना चाहिए, लाइक दे बिकम वेरी रिजिड टुवर्ड्स दैट एक्सपेक्टेशन. सो वुड यू लाइक टू शेयर समथिंग ऑन दोस लाइन व्हिच कैन हेल्प्स आवर ऑडियंस?
So as it said, no, sabar के फल मीठा होता है, right?
Yeah.
So if you are not patient, if you are not patient in life, then you become a patient. Got it? So nowadays,
Very true.
everybody wants things done yesterday, right? And yes, life is fast paced, so there is pressure on you, but especially on spiritual path, um, when there is more patience, faster the growth. Because body and mind work in a very different philosophy, different rules, right? When you want to get a six-pack body, I think that's the latest, no? Six-pack body, whatever pack that is, right? You cannot relax and say, okay, I am going to relax now, let the six-pack body come. It doesn't come.
Yes.
If you want to achieve something with the body, you have to go and work out in the gym or yoga center, wherever it is, right?
Yes.
If you want a six-pack mind, you have to learn how to relax, right? Because when you relax, that's then the mind becomes sharper. Yeah. So especially when you do any spiritual techniques, it's very important to be patient. You have to wait. Infinite
Yes.
patience. Yes.
Yes. Very important.
Yeah.
Very important. So there is one more question from Amba. Can you say something on surrender? Okay.
Okay. What is surrender?
Yes.
So what is surrender? Surrender is, see, you want to apply for a job, right? So that's your sankalpa. You want to get a job. Now you write your application, and there's a box there. Nowadays it's email, but I'm just giving an example in the physical
Yeah.
world. There's a box there. You have to submit the application. Only then you'll get a job. That is surrender, right? So which means you have a sankalpa in your mind. Okay, you take that sankalpa. At the same time, you also have to drop it. If you keep holding to that job application, will you get a job? You don't. Similarly, if you have a sankalpa, if you have an intention, if you have an intention after that, you have to drop it. After intention, if you don't drop it, then that creates tension. Got it? And when there
Yes.
is tension, then the result usually takes more time. That's what I have experienced. You see in your own life. So surrender
Yes.
is not an action. It is a natural state of a contented mind. Yeah. And
Mm.
the second part of it is knowing that you don't have right of the result. See, you can only act. You only have right to act. What is the result is is dependent on a certain universal law, isn't it? For example,
Yes.
you jump here, right? In the earth. You'll go maybe a feet up. Suppose you go in the moon and you jump up, you can go many feet up, isn't it?
Yes.
So jumping is your action. How high you will go, it depending on the universal law, right?
Yes.
So like that, understanding that, not understanding, by realizing that deep inside, oh, I can only act, but the real result is in some other, depends on some other universal law. If you look at this COVID situation, so many intelligent, experienced entrepreneurs were there. Did anybody know that COVID is going to happen? Nobody knew, isn't it? So they went and invested their money, right? Now they are all in trouble. Now you say that I'm very intelligent, I am passed out from Harvard, Stanford, I know everything, market analysis. Did that work for you? It did not, right? The moment you realize that, you will know that no, there is a universal law that um, governs everything. So then you will only do 100% work. After that result, you don't care for it, just happens. Yeah, but that also means you have to work 100%. In a door, it's written pull, and you go push there 100% and then say I have surrendered. It's foolishness, right? So if it is
Yes.
written pull, you have to pull. After that, you surrender, right?
Yes. Yes. Very beautifully you explained, sir. And to summarize this whole idea, I think you want to say like that surrender the outcome of the result rather than action.
Yeah. Action is in your control. Result is not in your control. What is
Yes.
in not in your control is surrender. What is in your control, you don't surrender. That you act. लोग उल्टा
Yes.
करते हैं, है कि नहीं?
Correct.
हाँ? कुछ काम
Correct.
नहीं करते हो, बोलते चलो भगवान देख लेंगे. ऐसा नहीं होता.
Yes. Yes.
So if you do
Very true.
100%, वो भी शायद 100% करेंगे.
Yes.
Yes.
So I hope Amma you got your answer. Please ask us if any question you have related to surrender. And let me check if there is any other question. Mm, Okay, there is one question from Mansi. So, if someone facing any mental health issue, or still they can join this program. Mansi,
Yes.
can you just
The,
elaborate on your question also that what you are like? आपको क्या पूछना है? Yes, sir.
हाँ, हाँ जी.
You got a question,
Yeah,
sir?
I got the question. So, yes. So, depending on a certain, what exactly is the issue, there is, there has to be guidance given by the facilitator. So, yes, you can do the program, but in certain cases, certain techniques cannot be done at this moment. Yeah, but in long term, once situation improves, the health improves, that person can continue. So a facilitator can give the guidelines. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, there is one more question from Mansi. Can we do some activity or can we do some meditation?
Absolutely. So how much time we have now, Shreya?
Yeah. So, okay, so we already crossed our time limit, but still, I think we can extend our session.
Yeah,
How much time it
I
will
need
take,
six,
sir?
7 minutes.
Or
7, 8 minutes. I will teach you something. Nowadays,
perfect,
it's a time of fast food, no? So we have also come up with fast meditation.
perfect, perfect.
So,
Okay,
so
sir.
first, what you need to do is before you do any meditation, you have to first, as I said, calm down your breath. So I'll teach you a simple technique which you can calm down the breath. So what you do is, it's called, if you've seen Anulom Vilom, just keep your hands like this and you can close your nostrils with these two fingers. Okay. So what you do first, you breathe in through the left and
Okay,
then breathe out through the right. Okay. Then you breathe in through the right, you breathe out through the left. It's called alternate nostril breath. You breathe in into the left and breathe out through the right. And then breathe in through the right, breathe out through the left. And then continue. Left to right and right to left. Very slowly. To the left and breathe out through the right. Very slowly as you breathe in through the right, you breathe out through the left. Now breathe in through the left, breathe out through the right. And continue. Couple of more breaths. And this time, as you breathe out through your left nostril, you can sit relaxed. As you breathe out through the left nostril, let us sit with our eyes closed. आंखें बंद रखेंगे अभी हम. एकदम आराम से बैठ जाइए. Now, with your eyes closed, through this process, we will keep our eyes closed. It's important to keep the eyes closed. Now, with your eyes closed, become aware of any noises around you. बाहर जो भी आवाज हो रहा है, सजग हो जाए. It could be the noise of traffic, noise of people around. Just observe all the noises around you. It could be the fan. Just observe all the noises around you. And then you take a deep breath in and you breathe out and relax. सांस छोड़ते छोड़ते विश्राम करें. Now you are in harmony with all the noises around you. All these noises around you is a part of your meditation. Now become aware of your body. अपने शरीर के ओर सजग हो जाए. This body is a precious gift given to you by the nature. ये शरीर प्रकृति ने दिया हुआ एक अद्भुत देन है. Let us become aware of our body from the feet onwards. Let us become aware of our feet. हमारा ध्यान अपने एड़ियों पर लेके जाइए. Become aware of our knees. घुटने पे ध्यान लेके जाइए. Thighs and hips. जंगा और नितंब. Both the legs. Become aware of both the legs. दोनों पैरों के और सजग हो जाए. And breathe in. एक सांस लीजिए और छोड़े. Breathe out and relax. Now become aware of your genitals, Jananendriya, abdomen and stomach, पेट, chest, छाती, shoulders and arms, कंधे और दोनों हाथ. neck and throat, गला और गर्दन, face, चेहरा, head, सिर, and the whole body, पूरा शरीर. Relax completely. पूर्ण विश्राम करें. Let's take a deep breath in and very slowly breathe out. बहुत धीरे से सांस छोड़. And your body is relaxing now. Drop the whole weight of the body onto the seat where you're sitting. पूर्ण विश्राम करें. Now become aware of your breath. Observe your incoming breath. The incoming breath is energizing your body, and while you're breathing out, it is giving you relaxation. जो अंदर आती हुई श्वास से आपको ऊर्जा मिलती है और बाहर जाती हुई श्वास से आपको विश्राम मिलता है. With every outgoing breath, relax more and more. बाहर जाती हुई सांस से और विश्राम करें. Relax more with every outgoing breath. Now become aware of the thoughts in your mind. अपने मन में जो भी विचार हो रही है सजग हो जाए. Good thoughts or bad thoughts, do not resist. आपके विचार अच्छे हो सकता है, बुरे भी हो सकता है, टोकना नहीं. Observe all the thoughts that is happening in your mind at this moment. मन में जो भी हो रहा है सजग हो जाए. Breathe in, and slowly as you breathe out, relax more and more. Now become aware of your feelings. अपने भावनाओं की ओर सजग हो जाए. Whether pleasant feelings or unpleasant feelings, do not resist. आपने आपकी भावनाएं या सुखद वो हो सकता है या असुखद, टोकना नहीं, बस सजग हो जाए. Breathe in and slowly breathe out. And relax completely. पूर्ण विश्राम करें. You are peace, you are joy, you are love. आप शांति हो, आप खुशी हो, आप प्रेम हो. अपने आप में विश्राम करें. Repose in yourself, relax in yourself. Again, become aware of your feelings if there is any. Become aware of your thoughts if there are any. And becoming aware of your body and the surroundings. Whenever you feel like, जब भी आपको मन लगे, बहुत धीरे से आंखें खोल सकते हैं. You may very slowly open your eyes. Take your own time and very slowly you may open your eyes. Very nice. So hope all of you enjoyed it. That's good.
Yes, sir. It was a wonderful experience. Let me check if our audience wants to share anything.
Yeah, if you can share your experience, how you felt.
Yeah, so it was a complete relaxed state. And at the end of the commentary, when you said that now you can open your eyes and come back to the present, but I, I was not feeling like to come back to present. I want to enjoy that state. So it was a very peaceful and calm state. And it's like we can, it's hardly take 10 minutes, right? If I'm not
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah,
So I think we can devote 10 minutes in our whole day. And after that, if we can see the result by daily practice, then I think we can bring a major transformation in our life by just giving 10
absolutely,
minutes.
absolutely. You know, it said that 20 minutes of meditation is gives you equivalent rest as almost 6 hours of sleep. Yeah, I'm
Yes.
not telling you not to sleep. I'm just saying that add meditation to the life. Yeah. And when you are in, there are two things in life. One is pravritti, actions. All the time we are acting, isn't it? Huh? We are
Yes.
all the time thinking what I can do next, what I can do tomorrow. We are all the time planning and then you're acting. At the same time, it is important to be in nivritti, where you don't do anything. Yeah. Sometimes our pravritti is too much that when you're sleeping also you're planning, isn't it? Yeah. Sleeping also people get dream about their project, what they're going to do. People eat ice cream in dreams, isn't it? When you have so much of craving for ice cream, isn't it? But it's
Yes.
very important to know, take some 10, 15 minutes every day and rest. Do nothing. Yeah. So meditation is the art of doing nothing, consciously doing nothing. Yeah.
Yes.
It's not laziness. Huh?
Yeah.
Consciously
Very important.
doing nothing, where you don't even try to do nothing. That is meditation. Yes. And in that state, if you spend rest of your 23 and a half hours of the day will become beautiful. If you invest 30 minutes of your day for meditation, rest of the 23 and a half hours will be beautiful. It'll be fruitful, productive. You'll have a deep sleep. Yeah,
Yes. Completely agree with you. Just let me check if our audience want to share anything.
sure, sure. So while you check that, there is so all our programs run every weekend. So we run a program called Online Breath and Meditation and Breath Workshop. They're just 4 days, 2 hours each every day. So every weekend we are running a online program. So you can just join on a Zoom and experience these programs. Yeah. So we also offer
Sure.
program for corporates where we improve the productivity of people. Every company wants productive people, people who are happy, people who cooperative, right? So we also offer program for the corporates where we improve the teamwork, improve the communication skill between employees. So wherever there is a stress-free work environment, the work culture also improves, right? See, so we offer programs to improve the work culture of organization, and all the programs that we run is basically to support our projects. We as facilitators are volunteers. We don't make any money out of these programs. We are doing this as a service. So rather than taking donations, we do this as a service. And while somebody is happy, that person has also unknowingly contributed, indirectly contributed to a social cause. So yeah, so as he does his practices every day, he can be also be proud. He's also supported a social service projects. Yes.
Sure, sure. So everyone is saying thank you, very nice experience. And there is also one question from Mansi. So do we have a time, sir?
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you. So Mansi is asking, can you share something about karmic philosophy?
Karmic philosophy. Okay. So what is karma? So first let us see what is karma. See, you're given, we'll all like drinking tea every day or coffee, right? So you're given, we drink every day, but one day you don't have coffee. Then what? You get a headache. That is coffee karma. See that? Yeah. So karma is nothing and an impression in your mind, right? You're getting something and suddenly that thing is not there. Now that is troubling you. In simple ways, karma is that an impression in your mind. So karmic philosophy just means that when there are more impressions in your mind, you can't be yourself. Yeah. So through meditation, through Sudarshan Kriya, any spiritual techniques that you do, all the impressions in your mind can be washed away. And when you wash away these mental impressions, then you come back to your original nature, which is happiness. Smile, isn't it? I talked about that in the first way. A child smiles 400 times a day. Why? Normally, a small child, they are out of this impression. It doesn't come that time. It comes little later in the age, right? So when your mind is free of impressions, then the self shines through, right? So what is our original nature? We are happiness. So this, Sat Chit Anand, right?
Yeah.
So that Anand shines through in your face. That's it. So out of karma then. Hmm? So
Yes.
karma is not a very complex thing. Yeah.
Yes. So actually, I have one doubt after listening to your answer that by doing meditation, can we settle our karma? Because people say like you have to do settlement of your karma. So is it like with the help of meditation we can do that?
Yes, that's what which I just mentioned. Yes. So as I said, karma is an impression in the mind. When
Yeah.
you do the meditation, the impressions get released. So for example, you had a trauma in the past, right? It could be as simple as somebody, you've seen some people, when they say cockroach, they keep screaming and running, cockroach or lizard. Yeah. So what is this? This is nothing a karma. What is karma? It's a mental impression in your mind that sometime in the past you had this trauma in your memory. And as long as that trauma is there, it will trouble you. That is karma. So that every time when the lizard comes, you see in that way. Oh, I am afraid. You see that? So
Yes.
a past event created an emotion, right? Now you think that every time you see that similar event comes, you connect to that emotion. This is karma. Karma and bondage is nothing but an event happened, an event created an emotion. Now every time similar event happens, the similar emotions get generated in you. Yeah. So coming out of karma simply means ability to disconnect the emotions from the events. So that is freedom, so that you're able to see things fresh again, right? For example, I had a fight with Shreya. Now every time I see somebody same name Shreya, I will think, no, this she's going to fight with me. Do you see this? This is
Yes.
Shreya karma. Yeah. Yeah. But when you meditate, It's okay. You've taken the learnings from that events and you drop that emotions. Now every Shreya you can see fresh. You see that? So this
Yes.
is freedom from karma in simple
Yes.
way. Yeah.
Yeah. I think there is no mental suffering.
Yes.
Like, yeah, so there is no mental suffering in your mind. You are fresh and you are also free from all the negative emotion, isn't it?
Correct. Correct. So our founder Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar ji says, pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. Yeah. So there is
Yes.
so in
Very true.
life,
Very.
so as we live our life, wrong things happen in our life, isn't it? Pain happens, yes, but suffering is up to you, isn't it?
Yes.
Huh?
Very true. Very true.
Yes.
I hope, Mansi, you got your answer. And so we come at the end of the today's episode. So any final word for our audience before we wind up our session?
Yeah. So whatever I just said, right? All the summary is the final word. Yeah. So, we as a human being, we have different faculties, different layers. We have a body, we have a mind also, right? A body mind complex, right? So
Yes.
a health, and then we are breathing. There's a breath. You see, there's a body, there's a breath, there's a mind. Huh? There is an intellect where you're analyzing, isn't it? And there is a memory where you store whatever you learned, isn't it? And there is ego. Hmm? In Sanskrit, man, chitta, ahankar, ego. And then there is atma, which is yourself. So we say body, breath, mind, intellect, memory, ego, and self. So when it's our birthright to have a disease free body, it's our birthright. It's our
Yes.
right to have a steady breath because you have come into this planet with a steady breath and a disease free body. It is your right to have clarity in mind. It is your
Yes.
right to have a sharp intellect. It is your right to have positive memories in your memory. It is your, and no trauma. Yeah. It is your right to have an ego which feels the world belongs to me. When you came to this earth, every child thinks everything belongs to the child, isn't it? A child will take your mobile phone and run away because a child really believes, he knows that this entire world is mine, right? So it is your right to have an all encompassing ego, and it is your right to happy self, right? So that's the final words I have for you, right? So keep smiling and keep spreading the happiness, right? It was a wonderful time that I had with you. And Shreya, thanks for inviting me. I really loved every moment that I had spent with you here. And I really wish that this last 1 hour 20 minutes has really added value to your life, right?
Yes.
So
Yes. Definitely.
looking forward to see you somewhere, all of you virtual. Now we are seeing virtually somewhere. Hopefully we'll meet again. Yeah. Thanks a
Yes,
lot.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for your time and your wisdom. And I'm sure, everyone got a wonderful time with you. And thank you, everyone, for you will have been such a great audience. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time. And I'm
Thank you.
sure your insight will help us to get more clarity in our life. And have a wonderful time with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste. So, I'm going to see you all next week on Sunday, and the episode is about the philosophy of Isha Foundation. So, thank you. Stay tuned. Thank you.